Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the midweek edition of TVC Breakfast. I am Veronica Dan Ikboy, and as usual, I have Ibrahim Shita joining me this morning on set. Ibrahim.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. It's good to see you. Thank you.
Since Monday.
You're looking dapper.
Thank you.
All right, we have an array of issues we'll be looking at today. We'll be looking at the matter of the controversy surrounding the Labour Party presidential candidates' certificates, so to speak, the controversy, so to speak. And then we'll also be looking at the proposed budgetary allocation for 2024, which is also stirring up some conversations. And then we're also going to look at emotional intelligence in leadership, which is critical. And then we're looking also at the conditional cash transfer that will be getting across about 15 million households as promised by the president. And that's where I'll begin this morning. That no fewer than 15 million households will receive the renewed Hope Conditional Cash Transfer launched by President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday. Now, the announcement was made by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, who represented the President at the World Poverty Eradication Day, held at the press gallery of the State House in Abuja. The 15 million households are said to represent 62 million Nigerians. Explaining how the money will be disbursed, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Eradication, Betta Edu, said each beneficiary will get the sum of 25,000 naira on a monthly basis for 3 months. Interesting. All right. Now, this is one of the promises made by the president to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. And although it generated some controversy at the time where a lot of persons were saying that the president should channel these monies into something else as against cushioning the saying that there should be conditional cash transfers because of what we have witnessed in the past with regards to conditional cash transfers, especially the transparency, the fact that these persons who are said to be in the social register, are they really persons we can pinpoint? Or are they just ghost names being used, so to speak? And then there's also who are the poorest of the poor that we're talking about, because right now every single person is feeling the pinch of the removal of fuel subsidy. And so if we are saying that we are just peaking 15 million persons.
Out of about 200 million Nigerians.
More than 200 million Nigerians.
Well, let's say 133 million multidimensional people who are in poverty.
The poverty that has increased as it is. So who are these persons? What's the yardstick to determine them? If they are poorest of the poor, do they have bank accounts that this monies will be transferred to? What's the mode of transferring this money? So some questions around that. And we are hoping that the government would, through the minister, would come out to speak more and clarify issues that are some gray areas that Nigerians are looking for answers to.
All eyes are actually on the Tinubu administration, the Hope Agenda, which the president, has started to Nigerians, which majority of Nigerians have actually bought. And now that they are embarking on the ensuring that they are transferring, conditionally transferring 75,000 naira to 15 million households.
That's for 3 months.
For 3 months, yeah, exactly. So that's it's a beautiful thing, I would say. Remember the time when it was said that 8,000 naira will be given to, the poorest of the poor. Then a lot of people, there was a lot of, criticisms, and the president backtracked, and they designed another model again, which we are now seeing. So I feel it's a good way to go, but they have to follow it through, just like you've said. It has to be transparent. They have to ensure that people who really need these things, who really need this, palliative, so to call it, they are, receiving it. One of the things that was really concerning for me was remember some of the palliatives that were distributed, some of the bag of rice, which some communities rejected, saying they do not need it. I saw a video of a man just a few days ago in Ogun State who was saying that certain estate does not need, this little bag of rice. But I felt that the man who was talking did not even, it doesn't even show that he needed the rice in the first place, even if he was given a bag of rice to his own household. Why don't you try to look for people around you who you think will need this more. It doesn't really have to get to everyone.
If you feel that you don't need it,
if you feel that you don't need it, not condemning the government, saying that this estate doesn't need it or this house doesn't need it. Truly, you might not need it. It might be that you already have a trailer of rice. I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but there would be some people who would be needing, even if it's a cup of rice. They will be needing it because some, they work for their daily bread. Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. They work for their daily bread. They work from hand, they live from hand to mouth, and you just have to look for all of these things. So it's the way we see things and the way we also help the government to get these things through. Because President Tinubu does not know the door to my room.
Of course, I agreed that he doesn't know the door to your room. That's why the minister is there. Recall that she was moving around state to state, saying that she was trying to, confirm, some of the data that she has with her.
The social register.
Visited the social register. Yeah. So she visited some areas across the state. She was in Lagos and some other states across the country.
That's right.
Data is critical.
Very,
right?
very important.
So it is expected that the government would have the data to and also identify each person. When you go to other developed countries, it's not difficult to identify who needs what.
That's right.
So by now, we should be able to have identified who needs what in what neighborhood. That is why you liaise with the state government and the local governments of each state to know, okay, where are we to visit? All you have to do is to follow through and ensure that these people get what is needed or what you have distributed to them. Yeah. So you can't be everywhere. We all know that, but you should be able to liaise with states.
To a reasonable extent.
Yes, to get the desired result at the end of the day. So that is where the issue for me lies. How is the federal liaising with the state and the local governments who are closest to the people to get the needed information of who needs what in what neighborhood, because we know these neighborhoods.
That's right.
We know where they are, these persons are. So we should be able to have identified them before we decide to start giving the monies or giving palliatives, whichever one it is that I want to call it. So whatever it is, because we know how it is, how we are with data in this part of the world. We don't do well with data management. But by now, for us to be able to achieve our desired goal, data management is key.
It's very key.
And so how do we even measure, at the end of the day, the result of everything we are putting in place? If we do not have the right information, do we just bandy numbers around? That would not be nice.
That's right. And I feel there are local churches, local mosques where a lot of people who will go to seeking the daily bread from people who attend the churches or go into spiritual houses. So I feel they can, just like you said, partner with local communities, partner with even the private organizations or the non-governmental organizations. These people always do a lot of outreach, out there. So they should look for all, reasonable means, because at the end of the day, no matter how much they try, Nigerians, those who will say they didn't do anything will still say that, but they should ensure that they have done their own best possible, you understand? So in delivering the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. We know that they can't do all of these things 100%, but a reasonable level, it has to be seen that yes, they've done their own due diligence in administering good governance to Nigerians. We just want to see the issue of poverty really brought down to the bare minimum, so that at the end of the day, the middle class, which has been eliminated, would be at least will have more middle class, because it's now between the lower class and the upper class. No, the middle class has been really eliminated due to the prevailing economic circumstances, in the country and the global shocks that we're experiencing. So that's what we want to see at the end of the day. The government bringing its hope agenda to fruition.
Right. I hope that this 25,000 naira brings some level of hope to the families that will be getting this at the end of the day, and that we ensure that we do due diligence with regards to the payment and this transfers at the end of the day, because this is what the government will be judged by at the end of the day.